All right, welcome to this great video, guys. Welcome to Fit and Trim Medical. My name is Rick Mejia. I'm the community manager and program manager of this great institution. One of the reasons you're clicking on this video is because you want to find out exactly what is it we do, what are we about, how we can help you, and what makes us different from everything else. Right? So one of the biggest ideas and one of the biggest things that we try to work on is to make sure we don't confuse our customers, and we don't confuse our patients, and we don't confuse our community to what exactly is it that we do. Okay. Number one thing, guys, is we're not a medical spa. Okay. We are not a medical spa by any means or of the word. Okay. There's a growing popularity in South Florida, in big cities like Los Angeles, like New York, like Miami, where a lot of these different sort of clinic style clinics are popping up that are mostly called medical spas. Now, medical spas are places in which they have medical supervision, they have medical directors, but they're mostly tailored to what we call cosmetics. So they're looking for enhancement, they're changing things within your appearance, obviously for you to feel better about yourself, for you to sort of like enhance something or take something away. And then from there, you can get the benefits of what Western medicine has to offer in order to change something within your body and within, your chemistry. Now, for us, a medical spa is something that is not that I'm not against it, we're not against it, but we see that almost as like the end game. Anything that has to do with cosmetic for us is more of the actual optimization once your body has been already put through a process of of health, prevention, and longevity, right? Cosmetics is more like once you are trying to optimize something that's already in a good place. It's already healthy. It's already the foundation. All right, let's call that the foundation. It's already strong. It's already good. Okay. Now, if you're watching this video, what I'm trying to do is be as transparent as possible. What is it that we do? Okay, and how is it that it works? So first, congratulations for, of course, clicking on this video, because it's important for you to be curious, right? And for you to find out the different options that are out there. Because one of the main things I always tell my clients is you can be skeptical about things. Just always try to verify. And always find places that are transparent. Because none of us have an absolute truth to anything. No one's infallible. And what we bring to the table is basically the experience of working with over 16,000 patients within a medical group that's been established mostly for what we call functional health. So functional health focuses on 3 pillars. We work on wellness, weight loss, and vitality, all as a function of optimizing somebody's health. But we're mostly looking at the long-term success, okay? A medical spa, in the other hand, is looking to give you a short-term sort of like enhancement. And short-term enhancements can be done now with science and technology, and of course different tools that we have available. But overall, if something's not working well within the inside of your body, and is not working well within your chemistry, within your within your health, that expression of the outside is always going to be deficient. Okay, so just think about a car. No matter how much you clean a car, no matter how many rims you put on that car, no matter how many TVs you put on it, if the engine's not working well, eventually you're just going to have a pretty car that doesn't run. And you don't want to be just a pretty face that internally is suffering. Okay, one of the best books that I've read recently is by a psychologist called Jordan Peterson. He talks about the science of happiness. And one of the most important pillars of happiness is literally the manifestation of a healthy psychology. And the manifestation of a healthy psychology has a lot to do with the absence of illness. And the absence of illness has a lot to do with what's going on internally. Okay, so if we go to a medical spa, if we go to a cosmetics, if we go to things that enhance something that is not really happening internally, in the long run, you're just going to have a marginal loss. You're always going to feel like something is empty, something's not working well. Because within happiness, you also have to have a healthy chemistry. Because think about it. if you're constantly dealing with stress, if you're dealing with fatigue, if you're dealing with lack of sleep, if you're dealing with obesity, if you're dealing with inflammation, if you're dealing with skin issues, if you're dealing with like we already talked about energy. If you deal with an unhealthy psychology because you have bad neurochemistry, you're not really processing neurochemistry in the right way, then that optimization of happiness is always going to be damaged. Okay? Now, what do I mean by marginal loss, guys? This is one of the things that I always try to explain to my clients. There's things you can do in life that always give you an upside. But overall, if you keep, sometimes when you do too much of them and you don't change some fundamental things, no matter how much of them that you do, they will continue, you will basically start getting a marginal loss. And you see that a lot with people that do a lot of you see that a lot with people that do a lot of like plastic surgery or an enhancement. Like short term, they get this kick of happiness and endorphins, and they feel good because everybody's like, oh my God, you look great. You know, you look amazing. Look at you. But if they haven't changed their habits, if they haven't changed the fundamental laws of their biology, basically the decay of that change is going to happen really rapidly. And all they're going to try to do is get that boost again and do it again and do it again. And I'm sure you guys have seen that a lot in a lot of celebrities where they're like, they don't stop. There's never enough. And we don't want that. That's not the fundamental idea of us forming our medical group. What we want to do is understand your body type, genotype, personality type. We want to understand your chemistry. We understand even your ancestry, understand your DNA. We understand your biological age. And based on those fundamental goals, we want to help you establish longevity, something that you can maintain, right? And how are we able to help you with that? Well, we run a process in which we can do a combination of tests, a combination of biosocial assessment, a combination of personal goals and health goals that you want to establish, and use our tools that Western medicine and alternative medicine has given us, and take you to that process of change and that you can sustain, right? Now, if we now change the things that are going on in the inside, if we start optimizing your vitamin levels, your hormone levels, your inflammation problems, we start balancing out your sleep, we start balancing out your weight loss, then now anything you optimize, you won't get a marginal loss. You're going to get a marginal gain, okay? Because you're adding to something that's already in progress. This is a lie. A lot of times the cosmetic things that you do are all in the surface. I'll give you an example, guys. We're currently doing a study with Nova University. All right, Nova Medical School is doing a study with FT Medical in which we are doing two things. We're checking the power of lifestyle change and vitamin therapy and nutritional therapy, and also in some cases hormone therapy and skin health. Okay, because skin is obviously the largest organ that we have, and skin has a lot to do with the nutrients that your cells have. Okay, and of course the bacteria that your body has. So 90% of our cells are made up of bacteria, and if you don't have the right bacteria, you're always going to have skin problems. So no matter how much products you put, how much cosmetic things you do on the surface, if you don't change from a cellular level, you're always going to have skin problems. And what the study is going to show, which there's been similar studies already done, is that if you change things internally, then you don't have to put so much stuff in the outside for it to really resemble a healthy skin. But it's so funny how the average person wastes thousands of dollars on products to change the surface, and they waste nothing to change the internal fundamental biological laws that can make that skin look and feel better. Make sense? Same thing happens with the brain. I cannot tell you how many people are dealing with like chronic brain inflammation. It's causing what? Anxiety, addiction, depression. It's causing behavioral change. It's causing weight gain because some people are using their psychological problems, and they're basically not knowing how to deal with their emotions. They're eating. So instead of treating it as a problem that they have brain inflammation, they have a lack of understanding of what's going on with the brain, They're just consuming all this medication that's being given to them by their doctors, which is causing it, which is making it worse, because the brain is now, not only are you getting inflammation from this natural stress that you're dealing with, but now you're adding all these neurochemicals that are enhancing the problem, and you're triggering parts of your brain that are like, making it worse. So if we understand how our body works, we understand who we are, we do a self-awareness test, self-assessment on our chemistry and everything that makes us who we are, then it is easier for us to work every day to change that and optimize it. And that's what we do here at Fit and Trim Medical, guys. Our medical group, when you come in, we first want to find out, what is your goal? What is your health goal? We specialize in wellness, weight loss, and vitality. When we do a biosocial assessment, we do a combination of tests, a physical. We run everything about you, and we find out, okay, you want to achieve weight loss? Okay, let's see what is it in your body that's being expressed from a vitamin level, from hormones, from psychological, and from inflammatory markers. Once we find what's missing and what's lacking, we start working with you, and we start tailoring the best plan that's going to be best for you. Once we get that plan and we start helping you through the process, now later on, once you reach your goal and you feel better and you have control of your body and you have control of what's best for you, you go to the cosmetic part and you just enhance it. But at that point, it's even easier for you to do it. It's so much easier. So, we're by far a medical spa. We don't, nobody wants to, when somebody comes to us and they say, oh, well, I just want an injection to change my life and to make me lose 30 pounds. It's like, that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Or I just want some type of medication to make a quick change. It doesn't. It's not that it doesn't exist, because I'm sure there's medication out there that can do crazy things, but that is not our approach. And it's not going to give you longevity. And to me, longevity, and to us, I would never create a product or service that I wouldn't use. And for me, it's so important to work in establishing something that I will use. And to me, longevity and happiness is literally, how do I optimize my life in the long term? How do I optimize my day by day so I can experience it better? I know a lot of times happiness can also be an expression of your psychology. Like they always say, okay, if you can feel happy, you're happy if you feel happy. Okay, like if you just express it, if you just say it, if you manifest it, right? But that could be, let's say you feel happy, and that could be true, but let's say you have joint pain because you're overweight. Or let's say because you can't sleep at night because you have this chronic inflammation, right? Now, let's say you get irritated because you have a lot of brain inflammation because you can't manage stress and you're not eating the right things. That is causing too much stress to your adrenal glands. Then it's hard to get your happiness at its highest level. Let's say it's an 8 to it's hard to make it a 10 because there's biological barriers that are putting that strain on you, that even if you try, you cannot feel 100%. And then you seek all these stimulants, all these drugs, all these medications that are out there to give you that kick. That's why prescription medication is at an all-time high. It's just simply because people want to feel 10, but really their bodies right now are at like a 2. So it's like, okay, how can I get from a 2 to a 10? Your doctor's like, well, you know what? I got this nice medication that has like 1 billion side effects, but it can make you feel here all the time. But the problem with that is, again, you get a little kick, but at the end, you're going to end up right over here. And that's why we have, in the medical field, we having all these big issues with chronic conditions and chronic disease. Okay? So guys, we're not here to bash medical spas. We're just not a medical spa. So if you're seeking for an alternative way to make a lifestyle modification that uses the most optimal technology, that uses the most optimal way of looking at your body, your psychology, and all the things that might be affecting you, then that's who we are. Our medical group is currently in a stage of growth because we worked with over 16,000 patients, and you guys can see in our reviews and the way people talk about us is just different because we want to humanize the experience. I want to be able to teach people how is it that things work, so once they understand how things work, they make their own decision to see if how they want to express it. But you're no longer like being blind to it, okay? And the reason we want to put ourselves aside from a medical spa is because it's the mentality that people come here with. Are you going to come with a short-term mentality, or are you going to come with longevity, long-term, optimal way of looking at life? If somebody looks at a short term, I want something fast, most likely we're not going to be able to help you. But if somebody looks at like, okay, let me get from point A to point B, let me understand myself, let me audit myself, let me be self-aware of myself, let me understand the things that I have to change, and use these tools and use all the things that this group can provide for me, then we will be able to take you to the moon. And I always, in social media, I'm always posting all the different tests that I do on myself. I do massive amounts of tests to make sure that the chemistry that I'm bringing on, since I was like 26, I can continue to have it, because I want to maintain all the different markers and all the different things that allow me to experience my life at the fullest. I want to keep it at a place where I can succeed in today's world. Remember, we're being hit from a whole different environment, guys. Like, today's world is completely different to what it was 10 years ago, to what it was 20 years ago, and what it was 30 years ago. So we have to adapt to this new environment with consciousness, because if not, you're going to be dealing with constant regret and constant chaos. I cannot tell you how many people we have that come in that come with chaos because they tried 1,000 things and they're just trying quick products and they're just trying quick fixes and they're just trying the next trend, the next Instagram post, and they don't understand that their biology and their body needs something else. They need a more unique approach, a more personalized approach. My body type, my environment, the things that bother me, the things that affect me can be completely different to what will affect you. Okay, so I would say this, guys. Thank you for watching this video, and I think it's important for me and us to be able to express to you why is it that we make that difference. We're not a medical spa. We're not here for short term. We're not here to enhance, to change and adapt something in a small period of time. We're not here to use Western medicine as a function to transact on you or trigger lose 20 pounds in 20 days. No, we're here to establish a group that in our community develops mindfulness. It understands these tools and it embraces them and allows our professional team to take you through a process of change. And you're going to love it. You're going to love it because after 4 years of us doing it, we're in the growing state, guys. We're opening a new location in Delray Beach. We're going now also to Miami Beach. It's a little bit different the way we want to approach how we speak to you guys and speak to our community, just because, of course, we're coming from a different angle. But I guarantee you this, once you biohack yourself and you understand what is it that your body needs, you now have control. Like, I'll give you an example. There's this test that is called the telomere test. So the telomere test basically checks your biological age. It checks how much damage you have in your DNA. I don't care how much cosmetic things you do. If your DNA is being damaged because of your lifestyle choices and because of the things you do day by day, you're going to age so fast and you're going to do so much damage to the things that make you feel young and give you longevity that you're going to be spending money on spas like it's crazy. But imagine if you can reverse the damage of telomeres. At that point, you're lowering your biological age, and you can have such good results and even optimize anything you do in a spa. Like, you're just optimizing it. So when I did my biological test, my first telomere test, I was like 28, and I came out like I was 37. And I was like, what the hell? I cannot be 37 biological age. Like, that got me a little upset. Once I understood, I did more testing, further testing. What I found out for myself, it was just basically that I had some allergies to some things. I was causing too much inflammation in some of the exercises that I was doing. So I was doing a lot of high impact exercise. In the high impact exercise, I wasn't recovering appropriately, which was causing my body to be more damaged than to be optimal. And I was starting to notice that I was feeling fatigued because I was overtraining. And that's something that's another video that I can do, where I can explain how some people actually overtrain and cause inflammation, which causes your body to want to eat more. You cause adrenal fatigue, you cause cellular damage, you cause oxidation, you cause all these different things that are not good for you. But once I understood what my body needed and I adjusted, boom, the next time I did my test, my telomere age, my biological age got better. Okay? So, you know, to give a conclusion, guys, because I've already been going in circles with this video. The idea is, we're not a medical spa. We hope you're looking for a lifestyle modification that is meaningful, that is evidence-based, and that you can be skeptical, but you're always verifying. And if there's any new evidence that's coming out there that can help us make a change and optimize what we have, trust me, we're the first ones to be on top of it. Okay, we are currently, I am credentialed with Keon. Keon has basically, they're a group that credentials some of the top biohackers in United States. And you're gonna see some of the top guys that are that they won the Spartan race, guys that are like that they do all these types of crazy competitions, medical practitioners. That to be in that group, you have to be like you have to be accredited by a lot of different things to participate with them. And those guys have taught us incredible things that once you apply it, we can take you from point A to point B at such a minimal marginal cost that it's crazy. Meaning the minimal viable option. So before I go, let me explain to you what's the minimal viable option. In order for you to make a change, you have to create friction, but it cannot be too much friction. Let's call this F, right? Then you have to create recovery. Then it becomes adaptation. But if you create too much friction, not enough recovery, you're never going to adapt. Make sense? So when somebody's trying to make a lifestyle change, the minimal viable option is, how do we create the smallest amount of friction that puts you in a state of flow? So a state of flow is that when you do it, it doesn't create so much pain that you don't want to do it. So think about an exercise class that you went to, and the exercise class went so fast because you liked it. It wasn't so hard. You got into it. You got engaged. Maybe for some of you guys it's like a dancing class, etc. You just loved it. Well, the friction wasn't too high. So then the recovery is something else, because you have to learn how to recover. Recovery will be what nutritional plan you had, what type of supplementation you took so your body can recover. And if you had the right recovery, means that you now start establishing good results, then now you can adapt. And through adaptation, you start establishing change. Make sense? So the minimal viable option is, how do we make sure that we keep that friction under control, the recovery in place, so then you can adapt. And that, guys, is not easy. It takes a lot of brain power and a lot of understanding of how the biological laws of cause and effect work. And that's what we bring to our group. Me, Alexandra, Marty, our providers, our doctors, we are top of the line in this stuff. And I really mean that. Okay? I might seem young, but I've been around the block. For you, the guys that follow me, I've been with some of the best guys in the industry. Okay, so let me stop this video now, because I'm gonna make this video like an hour long. But guys, I hope I make sense in what I'm saying. We're definitely not against any medical spa. I think anything that enhances your life and your quality of life is good, but it's really, what is it that you want? If you're looking for a place that's going to establish a long-term change, then you should look for that. You should wake up, and if in 2 to 3 years from now you want to feel different, you want to see yourself different, then you gotta make a choice that's going to be productive. One of the saddest things I always hate to hear is when people speak about their past. Oh, when I was here, I was like this. When I was 10 years ago, I used to do this. When I was 20 years ago, I used to look like that. It's like, hey, right now we have the technology and we have the science to be able to make you feel like that and look like that and get back to that. Like, not 100%, of course. I don't want to sound like, not 100%. But what I'm saying is, you can still take control of that and not live in the past. Oh, Rick, when I was 30, I could eat a sandwich and nothing happened to me. Well, hey, The laws of gravity are real. When you're 40, your metabolism changes, your hormones change, your cells change, your environment changes, everything changes. But you have to adapt and change. Charles Darwin's always said it. It's not the fastest, the smartest, the strongest that survives. It's the most adaptable that survives. So if you're not adaptable, you're not going to survive. Okay? So, all right, let's close this up, guys. We're going to leave, you're going to have access to a booking. You can book an appointment with us. Come in. The first one is complimentary. For the most part, we always do that. You can also submit your insurance, because at times, depending on certain circumstances, some insurances we can verify if you have any benefits. But I just welcome you to take the challenge. We might not be the place for you. We're not the place for everybody. That is something that I've always understood. We're not the best option for everything. So that's why we want to be specific on how you should perceive us. Okay? But look into what we have, and if you feel like we might be a good option for you, take a chance, take an opportunity, and might be the best choice you made. Okay? Alright, guys, so it's Rick Mejia. Hopefully I'll get to see you guys in person, and thank you for watching this video.